Here it is. Roger Stone was just sentenced to 40 months in prison, basically a little more than 3 years in prison. Wow. So it wasn't as much. It appears that, Judge Amy Berman Jackson decided not to go with what prosecutors had recommended, which would have been 9 years for Roger Stone. But I'm still stunned, people, because think about this. I just talked about Brennan, Clapper, McCabe, Comey, others that lied to Congress. They lied under oath. They got book deals. They're working for MSNBC and CNN, and they're living the high life and snubbing everybody in America, just like Lisa Page, the former FBI attorney who's no longer with the FBI. She was, remember, having an affair on her husband with another married man, Peter Strzok, who was the FBI agent that interviewed Michael Flynn and was in charge of the Russia hoax. That guy. They were just cheating all over the place and texting all over the place, even classified information, information that the Russians shouldn't have their hands on. These are people that are Russia analysts working at the FBI headquarters, doing whatever they want. None of these people have paid a price. None of them. They don't care. Impunity. I could do whatever I want. Roger Stone, however, what a criminal, right? 67-year-old friend of Donald Trump who likes to say what he feels, lied to Congress about who he knew, right, allegedly, and now he's facing over 3 years in prison. But all of them, so what if James Clapper lied to all of you about spying on you? So what if you walked all over the Fourth Amendment? Come on, it's the NSA, right? Right? Do whatever you want. Nobody's holding them accountable. Andy McCabe lied 3 times under oath. I know I keep repeating this. He's free. He's fine. But now Roger Stone, who, by the way, had an armada at his home, an armada of agents with weapons locked and loaded when he woke up in the morning and he walked to his door in the darkness of night still, in the early morning hours, and his wife is asleep in bed. She can't even hear, didn't even have her hearing aids on, and men are standing at the door with automatic weapons pointed at him. Automatic weapons. Let's play this.
David Shortell, he was on the scene when this happened in Fort Lauderdale. Tell us everything that transpired this morning.
CNN.
Allison, an extraordinary morning. We were here at 5 a.m. waiting for whatever was going to happen. It was dark, 6 a.m., just after the hour. About a half dozen police vehicles with sirens, but no sound. Silent sirens pull in front of this Fort Lauderdale home where Roger Stone was presumably asleep. The lights were off in the house.
So they needed an armada.
About a dozen officers, FBI agents wearing tactical vests and with large weapons, fanned out across his front lawn. One went up to the house and rapped on the door, shined a flashlight inside, said, FBI, open the door. Moments later, as you heard in the video,
FBI, open the door, old man.
Warrant. That's what the agent said.
We
then saw a light go on the second floor, and moments later, there was Roger Stone in the doorway. That was our video exclusively you saw shot by Gil de la Rosa, an extraordinary arrest here in Fort Lauderdale.
I did that better than Klobuchar. Gil de la Rosa. Rosa. By the way, CNN got tipped off. Nobody else was there. They wanted to send a message using CNN to every single friend of President Donald Trump. You are next. This is what we're going to do to you because guess what? We're the FBI. We're the DOJ. We could do whatever we want. And guess what, people? They can. Apparently they can. So you ask me if we live in the United States of America right now because that's like so crazy. That whole scene was so insane that they brought an armada of people with weapons surrounding Roger Stone's home. I mean, can you imagine how embarrassing it must have been for those FBI agents? They're probably like, what are we doing? Why are we being asked to do this?
Doesn't it sound like that's for a reason, like to make a big statement? So
right.
everybody sees it?
Well, it's definitely a big statement. It's a statement that shot fear into the hearts of all of Donald Trump's friends and officials that worked with him, saying, you're next. Because look, we could do it to Roger Stone. And they wanted to do that. And that's why they called CNN. And that's why CNN was standing there. And guess what? Yeah, they dug around. They made Roger Stone super nervous. They brought him before Congress. They were asking him all kinds of questions. Imagine if that was you, right? And you mess up or you lie. You're going to get, they recommended 9 years in prison for a 67-year-old man. Now he is going to serve over 3 years in prison. So he'll be over 70 unless he gets pardoned. I just want you to think about this. This is not supposed to happen in the United States of America. It's just not supposed to happen. And we've just, I don't know what's happened. The machine, something is taken over. We have no control anymore. We have no say. The Lady Liberty is what? The scales of justice are like, wah. They're not even balanced anymore. And so for everybody out there who feels good about this Roger Stone prosecution, just remember, that could be you. Somebody could target you. And guess what? Who will you find to help you? What will you do when you're sitting at home, scrambling some eggs, laying in bed, and all of a sudden you've got somebody ringing at ringing your doorbell? Roger Stone would have turned himself in. If they would have said, hey, Roger, you need to, turn yourself in. We're bringing these charges against you. He would have done it. He wasn't a flight risk. He wasn't going anywhere, but they just wanted to send a message. You guys, this is not supposed to happen here. This happens in Moscow quite frequently. Actually, in Russia, what's interesting is they don't even bother with the trial. I remember years ago, somebody I knew from Vladivostok would say, when Moscow wanted to clean up town, would want to get rid of their enemies, they would just send the FSB, which is like the former KGB. It's just called the FSB now. They would just send them into Vladivostok, and in the morning, there would be a slew of dead bodies. Yeah, take care of the crime. You're done. I didn't like you anyways. You weren't sending enough money up to Moscow, or you were running your own dirty operation in Vladivostok. That's the way we handle things. And guess what? Nobody does anything. And there's no justice. So if you think it's okay to do this stuff, could you imagine if we rounded up every member of Congress and the Senate and put them through the same scrutiny that Roger Stone and all of President Trump's cohorts or his friends were subjected to? Do you think all of our members of Congress and the Senate would just walk away clean? They'd be like, oh, no, we're so good. Don't worry, we're going to talk to you without a lawyer. We don't have anything to worry about. I mean, this is just nuts, people. This is just nuts. This shouldn't happen. It should not happen in America. We shouldn't be weaponizing our systems of government, our agencies, to target political opponents. And that's all it was. That's all it was. They targeted Roger Stone. And I'm talking about those people that did not want President Trump in office, former Obama administration officials. They targeted him. They targeted Paul Manafort. They've targeted Lieutenant General Mike Flynn. They targeted numerous other people within the administration. And some of them have paid the ultimate price, and that is their freedom. And it was all because they were friends with President Donald Trump or worked for him. Don't let anyone tell you anything different, because that's exactly what it was.